Yeah.
Beautiful.
You're familiar with the remote control?
Yep. Hi, my name is Rahima Namatjira. I'm from Hermannsburg, and today I am interviewing.
My name's Sam Jacobs. I'm senior coach of the Woodville West Torrens in the SANFL, so very happy to be here, Rahima.
Thank you for coming. I have a few questions for you. First question is, how tall are you?
How tall am I? How tall do you reckon I am? In centimetres. Do you reckon I'm 200?
Probably 300.
not quite, mate. I'm about 202. So
202.
obviously I stand out a lot with my height.
Yeah.
So it's a nice gift being nice and tall.
So what brings you to Alice Springs?
What brings me to Alice Springs is we're coming up here on a bit of an educational trip as well, but also we're looking to, I guess, work with Ntaria and find out more about the school and how we can potentially bring kids down to Woodville West Torrens to the footy club. So obviously footy is something that's a real passion up here for a lot of the kids.
Yeah.
So if we can potentially use that as a bit of a carrot to bring the kids down to Adelaide, and obviously footy, you can play, you can be a trainer, you can be in the media. There's so many different avenues for kids to be a part of a footy club. So if we can provide a bit of a vehicle and a bit of a pathway forward, then I think that's a great thing.
When did you start coaching?
Coaching, so I'm only new to coaching, so this is my first year as a senior coach of the Woodville West Torrens, but I only recently retired, so I've been retired for 3 years. I worked at the Crows, Adelaide Footy Club, in an off-field role, so did a little bit of coaching there as well in the SANFL, so it's my first try as a senior coach in the SANFL.
The next question is, what are the weirdest questions somebody asked you?
Weirdest questions? Yeah, that's a good one. I'm generally not great with this sort of stuff, but probably my nickname's Sauce, and everyone says, where does Sauce, where does your nickname come from? And it comes from me being a redhead. So people probably align that with tomato sauce, I guess. So I'll give a shout out to Jordan Bannister, who was one of my former teammates at Carlton, who gave me the nickname. So probably was my nickname Sauce, I reckon.
How many AFL games did you play in your career?
Yeah, so I played 208. So I'm very fortunate to play in the AFL for 14 years. So I played 17 games at Carlton when I lived in Melbourne. And then I got traded back home to play for the Crows, Adelaide Crows in South Australia. So I played 9 years there. And then I had 1 year at GWS Giants up in Sydney. So 14 years all up and 208 games.
Who was your favourite current AFL player?
I'd probably have to say Darcy Fogarty. He's a country boy like I am from regional South Australia. We got on really well. He's one of my good mates, Darce, as well. So it'd have to be Darce, Tex or Sloaney. It's one of those three.
What was the best thing about playing AFL?
Yeah, so I think the best thing about playing footy is working towards a common goal with 40 other blokes in your team. So everyone's like-minded, everyone's working hard, everyone's dedicating themselves. So in that environment, all the little things matter. So you need to be punctual, you need to be on time, you need to train hard. We're doing all those things to be the best we can be. So that was very rewarding when we won games together. Yep.
What was the worst or hardest thing?
And I guess one of the hardest things is probably just time away from family and things like that. Living interstate, moving around, but at the same time, there's some of the greatest things as well. Is sometimes you need to move away from your comfort zone to achieve. So it had the pros and cons.
Who was the best AFL player you played against with?
Oh, the best player I played against with, I have to give it to Max Gawn. And I know Melbourne spent a fair bit of time here in Alice Springs, but Gawney's probably the only ruckman where I felt he was better than me in pretty much every aspect of the game. So didn't mean I accepted he was going to beat me, but he was a very good ruckman. He marked the ball well, he covered the ground well, he kicked the ball well. I guess everything I thought I was good at, he was good at as well, unfortunately. So no, I think Maxie Gawn's probably the best.
Who is the best AFL Indigenous player you ever played with?
Or I'd say with is my good mate Eddie Betts. Everyone knows Eddie, and if I played 14 years, I probably played with Eddie for 11 of those. So my family and his family are very close. I still talk to him often. He's just released his own TV show. So a kid from Kalgoorlie's just had his own TV show on Netflix, which is quite incredible. So he's very inspiring. Eddie, he's done amazing with what he's achieved, and he's one of my very good mates.
What do you believe are the few of the most important qualities to be successful?
Good question. I think number one, you just need a work ethic. You need to be prepared to work hard. And I reckon the other thing is, for me, I don't believe in sacrifice. I reckon if you choose to do something, there's certain expectations that come with that. So as a footballer, if I choose to be a footballer, which I did, then I don't sacrifice going to friends' parties. That's just a byproduct of what I decided. So no one makes you do anything. If you choose to do that job, then that's part and parcel of what's required and what comes with it. So they're probably my two best ones.
What does great leadership look like to you?
For me, it's probably about caring for the person most of all. I guess a lot of my coaching philosophy now is, everyone at our level are good footballers, but it's about making the best people they can be. So if I can make my players the happiest they can be, the most motivated they can be, then they're going to be really good footballers. So for me, it's around caring for people, and everyone's different. The more you can get to know people and understand what makes them tick, what's important to them, I think that's probably one of the greatest things you can do in leadership.
Do you think anyone can be a leader? Absolutely.
Leadership comes in all different ways, and leadership sometimes can be just playing a role. A leader. I'm sure you've got plenty of leadership programs here at the school. You've got an SRC, which I think you're involved with.
Yeah.
So what do you do for that?
We talk about some,
actions, how you want to behave in front of the other students.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
What's your favourite part of it?
Just be a leader to the juniors.
Yeah, that's good. So do you like to lead by your actions, or do you like to tell people what to do?
Lead by actions.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. That's what I mean, mate. And not everyone has to have an outgoing personality. You can have a quiet personality and still be a leader. So, mate, if that's your leadership style, then there's plenty of space for those sort of leaders as well.
Yeah,
it's good. There's people you look up to. It takes leadership to, I guess, follow and buy into what the school wants you to do and all that sort of stuff. So sometimes leadership can be, purely by you sticking your hand up and saying, I want to do this interview. Some other kids now might go, oh, if Rahima can do it, then I can do it. So leadership comes in many forms, but for me, the number one thing is just, caring for people, once I've mentioned previously, and I guess leading by your actions.
What was the best career advice you ever heard?
The best career advice is just be you, I reckon. We're fortunately enough that society and all that's changed now, where we encourage people to be themselves, and if we're all the same, it'd be a pretty boring world, wouldn't it? So I think the beauty of life is that we all come from different places, we've all got our own stories to tell. If you can be yourself, you'll naturally find your place where you need to be.
How have you found the change from playing to coaching?
It's difficult because I always want to play. If I could play forever, I would.
Yeah.
I love the game of footy. I love playing. I love everything that comes with it, hard work, achieving, and all that sort of stuff. But unfortunately, you can't. You get older. So I'm 35 now. So for me, the natural transition was to stay in footy, and to be able to, number one, coach, and number two, be able to coach at my club as well, is something I'm very humbled by and something I'm very grateful for.
Is there anything about coaching your own team that has surprised you?
Not sort of surprised, but now I've got I've got 3 kids of my own, so I've got 3 daughters, 5, 3 and 1, or soon to be 1, and now I've got 62 other kids that I've got to look after to a point as well. So so it's actually like, there's a lot of similarities in terms of how you need to treat them and how you need to educate them and all that sort of stuff. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I've got players that are 32 and have 2 kids and have run their own business and all that sort of stuff, and then I've got 18-year-old kids that are just starting their footy journey and are just finding their feet. I love the disparity of that. I love trying to bring everyone together to obviously go for a common goal. So probably that's the biggest thing, is going from 3 kids to 65 kids now.
If you could give anyone here one piece of advice to carry through life, what would it be?
It would be dare to dream. I think here, living in Alice, and everyone comes from different communities, I think there's a lot. It's a big wide world out there, and there's many things you can do. So dare to dream and just give yourself an opportunity. Home's always going to be there. I know there's a lot of challenges that come with that, and it's not that simple, but there's a lot of pathways and programs which can assist the kids here, especially to let them be as great as they can be. And I think sometimes you don't know how much you can achieve until you actually give yourself a chance. So it's a fantastic school here, and I'm thoroughly enjoying being here today.
Yeah. And the last question is,
yeah.
What are your thoughts on education?
Education. Well, education, the great thing about education is you never stop learning. Just because you finish year 12 here, you're always learning, and that's one of the great things around coaching is there's always more to learn. So you can always continue to educate yourself in whatever area you want and whatever you're interested in. So just be open-minded, have a growth mindset, and just see what you enjoy and see what you can teach yourself and learn across the way.
Yeah. Thank you for coming down here to Yarra College. And in my language we say Kalamara, that means thank you in Western Islander.
Beautiful, mate. Thank you very much for having me. It's been great to chat.
Yeah.
Cheers.